Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Elizabeth Eleanor, and we are pausing. Let me know in the chat how you are, and I will turn on my little thing here to say hi to everyone. There I am. So today we're going to be talking about soulful connections and beyond words, right? Beyond connecting with the words that we verbally say and the language that is in our body language, and all of those things are part of this. But I'd love for you to put into the chat how you are, and if you have ever had a soulful connection with someone before, so you'll know what I'm talking about, right? Soulful connections are connections beyond words, is actually where we are moving into in life, where we're connecting in with those deeper parts of ourselves, so that we can actually connect in a deeper part of somebody else as well, right? We all actually intuitively connect with people. We just don't realize that we're doing it. Good morning. It's actually because we are energetic beings first and foremost before we are anything else. And so when we are living as an intuitive being, and we're more aware of our energetic nature, then we're more likely to be able to have those deeper connections, those connections with other people, not just our partners, right? But with people in general. You know, when we can really live in the frequency of allowing and feel safe and connected to others, then we have more understanding of the communication that's happening in the field, right? Because, and I'd love for you to share in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. We get information from the energy that's around us. Is not just from our mind. Our mind has a limited resource, a limited amount of information that it can share with us. And most of the time, that information is from our identity. So most of the time, that information from our mind is telling us things that are not always for our highest good, right? Is telling us things that are coming from our insecurities, coming from our feeling unsafe in the world. And these are memories from the past. So this is information that is coming from stored memories. Now, it could be memories from your own childhood. It could be memories from past lives. It could be memories or information that's genetically built into us from our DNA, right? And so, hot cup of tea, I love it. That information is stored in our cells, and it's holding us back from really listening to the energy around us, being in that higher space where you're merging with the unseen world, and you're able to then really connect in with somebody else's field, right? Have you ever had the experience where you just have this feeling like you might be shopping, right? You might be shopping and you just look up and you see someone, right? And it might be this little tiny moment where you look and you see someone, and nothing happens. It's just a look between two people, and then you're off with your trolley and off you go again, right? Or you feel to turn around. You're doing it unconsciously. It's not even something that you're aware of. You might decide to go for a walk down the beach, right? Which is what happened for me, where I had a big day online and decided to go to the beach before I made dinner. You have these moments where your higher self is giving you something, and it's not in words, right? I felt this twice in your life, and it was incredible. Absolutely, Betty. That's lovely to hear. And so I want you to reconnect with that energy, because when you have those moments, this is you living in your essence. And those soulful connections that beyond words, when you're, let's go with the trolley, right? We're in a shopping center, and I want you to think about this next time you're in a shopping center, right? Or something like this. When you're just walking down the aisle, I want you to notice the people that you connect with eye to eye, and the people that you don't. You don't make any eye contact, because as soon as you're eye to eye with someone, you're actually exchanging information. As soon as you're eye to eye with someone, you're exchanging information. I had an experience when I can't even remember, but I think I was in my 20s. I wasn't driving the car, don't even remember where I was. I just remember being in the passenger seat, and I was talking to whoever was driving, and we were going around a windy road, and we came around this corner, and there was someone mowing their lawn up the sort of hill. And as I came around the corner, I looked at the guy, and he had been mowing, and he turned around and looked at me. Now I physically felt this moment where something happened. There was information that exchanged between the two of us. I actually remember going like this, it was just this moment of information. What the information was, I have no idea. My higher self would know. My body absorbed it. There was information that was exchanged between the two of us. Now what happens is, after that, you might just have a premonition, you might just have, a belief come up, or a memory, or an inspiration of some sort that is related to that, and we don't always connect the dots to what that is. So when you're in alignment with yourself and with your energy field, you're more likely to have beautiful connections with other people, and you're more likely to know when something's not right for you. I remember when I went on a date, when I was down in Sydney. I finally went on one of those dating apps. Hate the things. I think that they're annoying. They've got such a horrible energy to them. However, they can be used to your advantage, and that's what we do in Calling in the One, in one of my programs that's specifically designed for heart-centered women who really want to attract their partner, the love of their life, their divine partner, without the rejection of social dating, right? But we use the tool of the dating app specifically for certain activities that we're doing, right? And so I had been on this dating app. I went on and I had this date with whoever it was. And after doing some recoding, which is the one of the processes that I do, is clear the energy out of the way, all the things that are limiting, that are getting in the way from us just shining our light and being in our authenticity. I remember looking in the mirror and going, what's missing? There's something missing. And it took me a while to realize that I wasn't feeling uncomfortable about what I was wearing, or anxious about who the person was, or what I was looking like, or any of that sort of stuff. It just was gone. And I was just someone going to meet somebody else that I didn't know and have dinner. And it was the very first time that there was this freedom in my field of not being anxious about being imperfect. And it was so liberating. Well, what was really cool about that is we had a brilliant dinner. We were the last to leave the actual restaurant. We'd laughed, we'd carried on. It was really fun. And then I drove him back to the train station, and I was like, yeah, he's not really my type. And I wasn't interested in catching up with him again. So, which was very unusual for me at the time, because the good girl and people pleaser used to come in and want to not reject anyone because they, I didn't want to be the one that was rejecting all the things, right? All the beliefs that come in and carry on, right? And so being able to clear that stuff and be more aligned with yourself first is part of having a soul connection. Is part when you can go, well, this was fun, or I really enjoyed that conversation, but it actually isn't my style. It's not my scene. It's not who I am. And I'm totally okay with you being you, and you do you, boo. Like being able to be in that level of empowerment is what we're all striving for. Please put in the chat if that's something that you're like, yes, 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 I want to be in that space where I'm in my own sovereignty. I can connect in with myself and have no issues about my imperfections, and no issues saying no to someone because it's just not who I am. Isn't that what we all want? Give me a love heart or something if that's something that you want in your life, to be in a place where you are just being you and you're totally okay with everyone else being themselves, even if their beliefs are different, even if it's feel that kind of peace. Yes, is all about peace, isn't it? Right? When you're in feeling safe in yourself, when you trust yourself, those things create peace in your body. And that, ladies, that is where the magic really happens. Because when you have that, then your unconscious is not on high alert, is not working overtime, and you've got more space in your head to make the other decisions that are more creative and more aligned with you and your destiny and your higher self. When you're listening only to that limited part of yourself that feels separate, that is concerned about the way you're dressed, or your boobs being too big, or your butt being too big, or being too skinny, because that's another thing. I've never experienced that, but that definitely is something I know some women get challenged in, like, because they feel that they're too skinny and they don't have the meat on themselves, or your nose is too big, or whatever your thing is, right? Like, throw in the chat if you have your thing that is challenging you when it comes to your own insecurities, because we've all got them, right? All of those things move out of the way, and you park them, or depending on, come and see me if you want to neutralize them so that they don't exist at all. But when you can just tune in to your energetic field, that is where you then meet others way before your body is here. So we've got this auric field, and then somebody else's auric field, and so you're merging those two fields together, and the information is connecting and communication is happening here, right? What's really beautiful is it when you're with the right person, when you're with the person that is your forever partner, words become a little bit second nature. Tim and I were we're going to Mexico at the end of the year. And we were looking for my birth certificate. I've got it scanned, but I can't find the original. So we were looking for it yesterday. And we haven't found it yet. But we were looking for it. And I watched as the two of us didn't talk, but we, something would happen and I would think, oh, I wonder if it's in there. And next thing, without saying anything, Tim has said, I've already looked in downstairs, and I've looked here, and I was just thinking that, right? I wonder if it's in my car. Why would it be in my car? But I looked in your car too, he said, without me having to actually say the words, right? It's a beautiful place to be when your heart is so connected to somebody else that you have this deep connection, and words are secondary instead. That comes, yes, let me see what you've put here, Irene. Yes, again, lol, soulful intuition and connection isn't exclusive to our circle of people with common interests. It's for everyone. And it's fun to connect with people from different walks of life. I think that makes more interesting and worth living. Absolutely. I love that kind of synchronicity. Yes, I bet you've got that with your husband too. That's an important point. We tend to have this part in us that feels like we have to hang out with the same type of people. And yes, to a certain degree that's true, right? However, we can get into our limitation and disconnected if we are not open to experiencing all walks of life and all different types of people. Having when you're in this place of soul connection beyond words, this works in those settings as well, right? The setting where you're at Christmas, which is coming up, right? You're with family that don't often have the same sort of magic as you do. Often we have our family, where, the magic women in the world tend to be the odd, the black sheep of the family, or the, rainbow sheep of the family, whatever you want to call it, but the sheep of the family, right? And can have very different beliefs and experiences of life compared to the rest of the family, right? And so, or even work colleagues could be another one. When we can be our own person and be totally comfortable with our own beliefs, our own experiences, when you're holding that with strength in your heart, then you're totally okay with someone having a different opinion about something, even political opinions can get a bit messy, right? But when you are in that space of soul connection, this works in dysfunctional relationships, or relationships where it can get a bit heated. And this, I'm thinking of my relationship with my brother. He has got very different views to me, and so we used to butt heads, right? Because I was always trying to explain my point of view to him, because I actually feel like we're just different sides of the same coin. He's got a very scientific view. My head is scientific, but it's got a spiritual lean to it, right? So I wanted to be able to explore that with him as I was learning more about it. But because it wasn't really me yet, I was explaining it but didn't have the knowledge or the wisdom, my own internal wisdom, to be able to express it properly. And he used to just smash me with information, right? Like I'd say something and he would just squash me. And the more I became myself, the more the information became my own wisdom instead of external wisdom, the more I stopped trying to get him to understand me. The more I started learning about him and where he was coming from instead, and observing him and his anger that he used to have, and what he still has, right? And seeing it and watching that it doesn't affect me anymore. And watching the place where I'm now in this space where I can hold my own beliefs and I have no reason to share them, because I know that they will not be taken in with integrity. They won't be seen as they won't be seen with respect. And so that's okay. That's just the consciousness that's there and available at the moment for me in my family. And so I will share when it's appropriate, when I feel like I need, and I get that higher self nudge of, you know what, it is appropriate for you to say something, and, just smack that down or whatever and put your belief in there. And other times I just know that it's better for me to hold my energy and save my energy rather than trying to be in competition or, validating who I am to others, right? They want to get to know me, they can ask. And it feels very, very liberating. But it takes a little while to get there. Not everyone has that ability when you're still in that space of feeling incomplete, feeling like, getting triggered, because we have these body functions within our neural pathways that actually trigger emotions to come up. So where are you at? Let's pause for a moment and take that time. I'm going to pull a card. Take that time to reflect on where you're at in your journey as you. Are you still in a place where you're getting triggered and trying to validate yourself to others? Or have you found peace where you can communicate with yourself and through that energetically connect with others to know when to talk and when just to allow it to be the way it is? Let's do a card for the group. This is an Alice card. Oh, perfect. I just love how this works. Isn't that a beautiful card? Nurture communication. Fairy energies, elemental messages, and flower energies. This is actually all about connecting with the spirit world. And you are being asked not to make assumptions. Be open to possibilities that seem to be outside rational expectation. Attempts to communicate with beings from other realms, within nature, spiritual planes, or even just humans, it is thought there is no chance of speaking to or being understood by. Be open and express the desire for communication. Be more lateral and less literal about the ways communication can take place. Be a being worth communicating with. This will go far. This is all the stuff that we've just been talking about, right? The more you can connect in with yourself, the easier it is for you to use your energy field to listen to the information that's available to you so that you can have these soulful connections with others. So if you're someone that is really interested in having that type of relationship with someone and attracting the type of partner that is in alignment with you, right? Someone like has that beautiful connection that is energetically a match. When you can be an energetic match for someone that is out there for you, energetically aligned with the love of your life, your whole world starts changing. Imagine joy every day. Imagine someone there to support you in your times of stress, willing to hold some of the load with you. Someone that connects with you and there's no words needed, right? Knows what your needs are and you know what their needs are. That is available to every single one of us. Now, whether you've had that experience before or not, you have the ability to experience that. I've got a program. It's the one that I started because so many people were excited about my story about meeting Tim at the beach. The reason I met him is because I had this moment. I'd been online all day, doing my thing, living by myself, moved down to the beach, having a beautiful life. I was already having a great life. And I had this moment, go down the beach and put your feet in the sand before you make dinner. So I went down. I was the only one at the beach, I thought. The waves were big, did a Facebook Live, and this guy walks past. He waves, I wave back. On his end, he was like, who on earth is that? And he decided he wanted to come back. His higher self told him, go back and talk to her. So he comes back and we start connecting straight away. One of the things that was so beautiful about this fairy tale experience that I had was that I felt comfortable with him from the very start. There was no issues, no feeling shy, no wondering, what I look like, all the things, right? His ex-wife has got a beautiful Barbie doll body, and I definitely don't. And all of that didn't even come into play. So when you're with the right person, it just feels right, right? And so I really want that for other women. And I've been sharing, we've got a few women in the course at the moment. So call in the one. We've had 3 women so far meet their beautiful partners. One was someone that she knew prior, and it just wasn't the right timing. And by doing recoding, it just came back around, right? And I'm watching her have a ball with this beautiful man online. And another one, single mum. Actually, both of them, the other 2 are single mums. And it's a beautiful experience. So if you're interested in finding out more about calling in the one, drop a love heart in the comments and we'll send you the book, the, what do you call it? Landing page, so you can have a look and read through it and see if next year is the year for you to meet your beautiful partner. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you soon.